time, boy, it's time to break it down. Grab a mic, kill the stage, yeah, second nature now. Mama said I make a plan, I told her I made a vow. Just to wait around, in the year I'll put her in a house.
Hey, what's up everybody? This is Nightwing2303 from kicksoncourt.com. Today we're going over another performance review and is on the Under Armour Micro G Torch. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into it. So here's just a quick look at the traction pattern used. It's a diamond shaped, which is featured full length on the heel and forefoot. The forefoot has additional diamond patterns within the diamond patterns for additional durability and longevity of life. Sort of like a high wear area. So traction on these guys though is absolutely fantastic. It's one of the better tractions I've actually had in quite some time. Zoom Soldiers are kind of comparable. They're a little bit better in the forefoot especially, but overall these are pretty much just below them, which is very nice and something that's actually really rare for a sneaker that has a pattern such as this. So front to back movements, jab steps and things like that are absolutely perfect. Even curling around screens and pushing off is fantastic as well. As of right now, I think that most of these torch models have a rubber outsole, which is what I would prefer and recommend. If you're going to be playing on outdoor surfaces, you could go with a cleared sole option if they ever make one. But as of right now, if you play indoors, I am going to tell you that rubber soles are pretty much the way to go if you want to receive the best traction possible out of the pattern that they provide you with. The cushion provided by the Micro G foam is pretty much like one of the most comfortable things I've ever worn, to be perfectly honest. The last model from Under Armour that I had worn and tested on court was the Micro G clutch, and those are okay. They were moderately comfortable, but these are ridiculously comfortable. I don't know if they've done anything with the foam or not, but basically this midsole is filled up with a lightweight foam, which is very low to the ground and very responsive. It almost has a bouncy feeling. As of right now, if I were to pick a foam, the top two would probably be between this and Lunar Lawn. The Lunar Lawn that was found and used in the Flyweight 2, and my personal preference is that I choose these guys right here. You know, the cushion is just unbelievable, and it's one of the most comfortable shoes I think I've ever worn on court, period. One of the things that I like the most out of the Micro G foam is that it's extremely consistent. So from heel to toe, you're getting the same amount of feel and cushion throughout the entire time that you're experiencing or wearing the shoe. So unlike the Hyperdunk 2012, where it is heel and forefoot cushion units, this is a full-length unit, and it feels absolutely amazing. The materials on the Micro G Torch, it's pretty simple. It's basically all synthetic uppers, so everything up here is synthetic. It's one piece within the forefoot and midfoot wrap, and then one additional pieces along the heel, with a couple of overlays with the eye stay areas, which are made out of 3M. Synthetics are something that we've been seeing with pretty much every single brand, so you can't really complain about one or the other. Some of them are a little bit nicer than others. This one happens to be pretty decent. It does cover the foot very nicely. As far as the fit goes, they, for me, fit true to size. My toe is literally right here, and these are size 9, leaving me with absolutely no room in the forefoot. Now, that's actually how I like my shoes to fit, so if you like to have a little bit of room, then you might want to go up half a size. The thing that's nice about the material and the fit itself is that this is extremely contained, so there's no wiggle room here. It's not coming down. Everything is wrapped around your foot perfectly. Simply put, the best one-to-one fit that I've had in a sneaker since the Hyperdunk 2012. As far as the lockdown is concerned, because everything wraps around your entire foot so well, it's a great lockdown. There's no slippage whatsoever, given that there's so little room within the shoe itself. I did experience some heel slip when I had my eyelets, or I wouldn't say eyelets, but my laces tied up to the second to last hole. So putting them at the top eyelet is definitely recommended, and it keeps your heel drawn and locked into place, where you will have the TPU heel cup in the back of the shoe. So in my opinion, I think that these are a great fit. Materials are decent, and like I said, they're all synthetics nowadays, so it's not really a matter of which brand you choose, it's just which one you like more than the other. One of the biggest problems that I had in the Micro G Clutch, which was the previous Micro G or Under Armour shoe that I had played in, was that the ventilation was awful. Now, these guys here, these completely upgraded upon that. You have a mesh tongue here, which is dual layer mesh, so it allows some heat to dissipate, but it does soak up moisture, which is kind of a downside. But the synthetic uppers have perforations throughout the entire side panel on both the medial and the lateral side. So this is where you're getting some additional airflow, and again, that heat is just kind of escaping through there. Right now, if you're playing outside, it's a little bit breezy, and you can actually feel the air flow through here. Not something that you can feel when you're indoors, but if you're outdoors, you'll definitely feel a difference. Because the materials are so close together to your foot, it does not distort the fit whatsoever. The materials are able to retain their shape just perfectly fine. So even if there was a lack of ventilation in this shoe, I think that everything would still work fairly well. But because they implemented it into this sneaker here, it just kind of makes your ride a little bit more comfortable. Now, support is pretty much the only area in this sneaker that I think needs an upgrade. You know, a lot of the other brands use synthetics, like I was saying, along the upper. These guys here actually have a midfoot shank right underneath the foot there. Now that adds some torsional support and rigidness, and that's all fine and dandy, but the upper itself, it's so flexible that it would be nice to have a little bit extra reinforcement, mostly in the collar areas, maybe with a thin layer of TPU just to kind of strengthen the material up. So if you have weak ankles, you might want to wear something kind of like a brace. What kind of brace, it really depends on your personal preference. I'd personally choose the Adidas Speed Wrap, but you know, use some tape, something like that, just to kind of strengthen up this back collar area, since it doesn't provide it there. And for those of you that don't have weak ankles and you like all of this range of motion and flexibility, this is going to be a perfect option for you. It's almost like wearing a low cut, but it's just a higher cut, obviously. But you know, so that's pretty much it. That I would just change the support a little bit in this shoe. The main thing though is probably the outrigger. Everything is a very slender and narrow fit. It's pretty much almost identical to your actual foot shape, so it feels like you're not wearing a shoe at all, which is great. However, with an extended base here, like if it was just a little bit wider and with a more pronounced outrigger, I think that you'd have a little bit more support, especially if you were to land on someone's foot, which I actually did do in these. And I rolled off the foot and landed like this, and then I rolled my ankle a little bit, causing a small sprain. Now if the outrigger was just a little bit further out, you know what I mean? And then I would have rolled and it would have stopped me here, and then I would have came back down. So that's the only real issue that I find with this shoe. Other than that, I think they're absolutely fantastic. Alright guys, so that pretty much takes care of the performance review on the Under Armour Micro G Torch. All in all, I think these are a fantastic sneaker, especially if you're a guard. If you needed a little bit extra support, this is probably not for you. But if you like the feel of a minimal shoe with a more natural range of motion and very responsive and low to the ground feel, this is definitely an option for you. I probably wouldn't recommend these for power forwards, but anything from a 1 to a 3 would be perfect. So thank you guys for watching, thanks for your support, and until next time guys, have a good one. If there's one thing I've learned while recording, while shooting around, is that apparently my favorite word in the whole English language starts with an F and ends with a K.